Deepwater Horizon, which is based very closely on the real life story of the 2010 Gulf of Mexico explosion and catastrophic oil spill. Although bizarrely enough, despite the fact that it's based on a true story, it does, as a piece of cinema is concerned, most closely resemble an Irwin Allen movie. You think about things like you think of movies like Poseidon Adventure and Towering Inferno and that sort of stuff. I mean, that's the kind of disaster movie template that it fits into. So you have Kurt Russell as the sort of the stalwart Jimmy Harrell, who's the guy who's on the oil rig, who's, reliable and kind of in charge. Then you have John Malkovich as the extravagantly accented Donald Vidrine. I have to say, I looked up on YouTube to see whether there was any sort of explanation of his accent. I couldn't find one, because the accent is as ripe as anything. At the centre of it all is Mike Williams, whose heroism in the face of fiery disaster has become quite rightly the stuff of a modern legend. Here is a scene in which he's on the phone to his wife, played by Kate Hudson, when things start to go horribly wrong.
She put a whoop ass on Maggie and her penguin.
Get out of here.
She did.
Huh? And she did it all without this?
No.
That is a genuine dinosaur tooth.
You're a good man, Mike.
Mike, what is that? Is everything okay?
Mike.
I'm going back! I'm going back!
You get the idea.
I do.
One of the things that's most impressive about the film, directed by Peter Berg, with that same kind of sense of visceral, in-your-face action that he brought to Lone Survivor, is that there was a decision early on to do as much as possible physically, rather than rely on CG special effects to create the cataclysm. And it really does pay dividends. And they've built this massive set, which is huge, and is attempting to replicate the rig. And they've used it very well, because you do get a sense of the physicality of it, which actually, again, is something that to some extent places it in the tradition of those, of those old classic disaster movies. They had a real sense of, pardon me, they had a real sense of weight, a real sense of heft. So I like that about it, and there is no question that you get a real sort of sense of this thing building up, that there is, disaster is coming, and you can feel it rattling in the walls. You can feel it coming through the pipes. You can literally feel it in the cinema. As far as the rest of it's concerned, solid performances, if weirdly enough, sort of somewhat, performances, although these are all kind of, the story itself is based, as I said, in real life, almost kind of quasi-fictional characters falling into very specific roles. If you do go and see it and you want to get the full effect of it, I would see it on the biggest possible screen. I saw it on a great big sort of IMAX-y screen. Oh, wow. And that's where you need to see it, because it's one of those things that it needs to be experienced at a gut level, rather than just on a sit back and watch it as a piece of modern eco history.